You're gonna get a mohawk, Jared?
Hell nah.
You wanna say what's up on Trader View?
Hell yeah.
Alright. So, I don't know if anyone's in here yet.
Mine should be in there.
Alright, let me get this up. What's good, Dylan?
What up, Dylan?
Really quick. So, my market review and update in this, I wanted this low volume area to get filled in back here. That happened in the overnight, and I wanted us to bounce from the support area. Bounced out of that in Asia. That was nice. Gonna go over the trades that I took today. I was just trading paper today. Didn't have an account to trade, but this overnight plan worked really well. And then trades I took. So I took a, let's see, I took a short here. I got stopped on this. And then I took another short, so stopped for 455. Took another short here. This was a break-even trade. I got out right at break-even pretty much. And then I switched my bias to longs since the IB high had broken, and was looking for continuation there. Could be an entry coming up here, 11:30. Tried it there. That ended up working. I tightened my stop up. I added into it as well. And the reason for this, there was selling right in this area both of these times. Come down here again, we get more selling, and started to find buyers in there. So this is just absorb sellers. It's just a third tap of pretty much the same level. And then Trump cabinet meeting came out. This ended up pumping. I think I got, how many points? This was a 50-point trade. I got out right at the top. And then I said if we did 240 to 500, would be open to longs again. Momentum keeps stalling out at POC from Friday's volume profile. Tried it long again. Bottom ticked it. This ran for 70-ish points. Yeah, 70 points. And I did just check. I think we did have an end of day pop on this. I was not paying attention to it. So this did end up popping. So what? I got 70 out of it. Could have gotten an extra 30. So 100-point trade. But overall, good trades from me today. Zeke, what's up? You're eating. Fog, what's up? What's up, Daniel? All right. Calling me Unk. I'm not that old, bro. Okay. So, overall, really solid day. Analysis was pretty much on point except for the shorts at the start of the day. But yeah. Let's take a look at through RJ's. Okay, Jack, Asia, 100-pointer. My only confluence was we kept coming back up to low volume node and level of resistance set from FOMC meeting, and it looked like it wanted to dump. Just found out it was news, but we still take these all day long. Okay. If you're looking at this as well, Jack, all right. One thing I was looking at last night was if I just go on a 15-minute time frame, we're below the 8 EMA. We never broke above this, and our VWAP, our overnight session VWAP, we get below that. Obviously, we're below the New York session VWAP from the previous day. So, even if your system is just EMA and VWAP, right, this is a pretty straightforward short to take. So, took this short down. This did bounce out of the support zone, but clean trade, Jack. I like it. Jaren caught this on gold, so pretty much the reverse of Jack's trade, just longs. He caught this before the pump too, so crazy day. Up 7,600, $10,000 balance, insane. Let me go back to trading view. Let me just check gold. Let's look at Jaren's trade. Probably don't have too much to say on it. Where was this? I want to look at last night. Yeah, so he bottom ticked that shit. This also just hits the 0.5 pretty much perfectly. from this region. Doesn't hit it, but it's between 382 and 0.5. I was just guesstimating on that with my eyes. Yeah, nice trade off of there. I don't know if I would necessarily shoot for a crazy TP like that, but when the momentum's there, you can expand those TPs. And I watched how he scaled. I watched how he adjusted his stops. Obviously, he lives with me, so part with the new setup. I just changed the camera location. Okay. Paper trade nearly took this trade, but there wasn't a 3-minute IFEG. However, Asia created daily bottom wick and went long. Pre-market pulled back. London open pulled back to 0.5 and then closed above weekly VWAP. I could have entered off this. Not sure if I'm being too strict with my confirmation or if I'm just doubting again. Okay, so 337. This is at 3 in the morning. So London. Right. We want to check that out. I like this London trade. This is perfect off that double bottom, like you said, Alize. This also just bounces off the 0.5 multiple times. So bounce 1, bounce 2, either of those, solid. Good trade. I mean, you don't always need a 3-minute inverse for value gap, right? I like this trade. You can just scale stops at each 5-minute close as well. But so overall solid trade. And then what did we target here? We're going for 76. Oh, I'm on NQ. I was like, that's not GC. 76. So yeah, I mean just the highs, I think. Before the highs. Okay. I would probably go for the highs in this case. But yeah, nice trade overall. Hate trading oil, but it was too good to not trade. Finger crossed. I'm working right now. Let's see what happens. Okay, so shorted oil. Stop loss above the highs. I would tighten this stop loss in. I don't trade oil, but just from a structure perspective, I'd bring this to either this structure, or this structure. I mean, we're all the way down here, so I would probably choose this structure back here. Right? And literally knew it was going to go that way, but I was nervous. Hit TP, very nice. Gold long, 2 losses, minus 850. Frustrating day. Price had come out of daily FEG, then rejected off 0.5 fib on a leg, creating 1 hour FEG, entered off 15-minute FEG and got stopped. There was a reaction at 15-minute demand, which I re-entered on the idea. Second trade was more forced as there were bearish signals. Price breaking VWAP, 15-minute SVG. Maybe that's FVG, being respected. Close trade at a loss. My rule is max 2 losses in a row on the day, and then I'm done. The reason the day was frustrating is because the second loss meant following my rules, I couldn't take the short I was waiting for on NASDAQ, which played out perfectly, and gold long buys started to play out. Wasn't focused on the charts today. First losing day on the account so far, and rules followed. Okay. Yeah. Tough losses. Yeah, if we're entering up, this is just too late of an entry, in my eyes. Like, we want to be entering down in here. This is just, we're entering at the top where we saw that consolidation. And yeah, it's just your entries are too late on both of these, in my eyes. Overall, good that you followed your discipline and rules, Luke, but yeah. I think these entries are just a little bit late. Like, I would like to be entering down in this region because it lines up with the fib. It also lines up with the structure highs right here. And I mean, same thing on this, right? So if I'm looking at gold, let me get this off just so it's really clean. Okay, if I'm looking at gold in Asia, I can use these New York AM highs. We broke through the structure pretty strongly. This would be my support area. We tap into there, and this taps. Initially, it's a 382. So I would look for longs in there. I mean, we bounced out of here. When this bounces here and it doesn't push the highs, I would look for it to go lower, tap back into the support, and then bounce again. And this is right at VWAP. So this is the ideal entry here, just for a quick scalp, 5 to 6 point scalp on gold. And then you're probably asleep by the time, yeah, it's 3 a.m. here. So this was at 11:20. Yeah, so just a little bit late entries, Luke. It's all good though. Ziki, same trade as yesterday on gold. Framing push out of value area high. TPO was also confirming rejected there before. Management 1 mini had top tick on demo, but had something to do and entered late on combine. Adjusted stop and took it off near TP, since I think gold is still more bullish. Framing management entry. Bad also entry because I could squeeze a bit more out of it. Okay, you locked out. I like this short. This is a clean short. We rejected here once, twice, 3 times. Come up there a 4th time. Reject. Clean trade Ziki. Clean little 6 point scalp.
Doomlord, you got cooked last night? Yeah, I wouldn't have traded last night if I didn't catch the short demo entry. Clean demo entry, Ziki. Good management on this too. I would probably make this tighter just because you're a point off your TP. But that's just me. I mean, you can manage it differently. But yeah, I would get pretty tight with the stops. Combine went with what I know better this time, and it seems to be reversals. Gotten short after London highs were taken. Entry on 3 minute. Once that area rejected, pushing back into range. 1 to 2.3 R. Target was internal lows, slowly crawling out of drawdown. Risk 5 micros for this one. You're fairly confident. Okay. And up 600 almost. Okay, yeah, you're almost out of drawdown. Good shit. Takes time sometimes. Okay, so let's look at this. So okay, so you shorted at 500. In London. Oh, you top ticked that shit. You top ticked that shit. Damn. Yeah, that's a clean trade. I mean, I would look for it to go lower and sweep out that low, but clean trade. Very clean trade. Was this in London or was this in was this in London or was this in New York? I bought the low, but with 5 minis on accident. Oof, jeez. New York Open. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I like that short at New York Open. I thought the lows would sweep. I do like how this came up into this area where we were consolidating previously. That was also London highs, so I liked it for a quick scalp, and then I tried it again. That was the trade I got stopped on for 20 points. But this is it's a clean trade, very clean trade. 60 points, it's not bad. Rob, minus 350 on combine. IB low formed second. Strong rejection off Asia high. Rejection off New York VWAP. Looking to target low. Should have sized down more given rough market conditions, but I understand the thought process and behind short idea. Might have had too tight of a stop loss, but figured we'd push past 618 level. My trade idea would be invalid. Did like that I had the same trade idea as Baron posted in commentary. Locked out instantly after seeing PA chop. Okay. Yeah. So this, I mean, I would take this setup again. I would take it again. We had the 15-minute orb close below, and the reason I would take this again is based off this stat, this orb stat, where if you have a 15-minute IB, which it's pretty much a 15-minute orb, you have a 5-minute candle close below, there's a 14% chance in the past 5 years of data that we have a double break, so where you close below that low and then you sweep the high. So 14% chance of that, I would take the trade again. We did have that where this is our 15-minute range right here after this 40-minute candle, so this is the low. We closed below that, so this high should have held, but it didn't. Yeah, I would take the trade again. I like the trade. Yeah, I saw the oil trade. It's a clean trade. I would adjust the stops. Or was it this one? Yeah, I would adjust this stop in. This stops. It's too far for me, in my opinion. Especially when the trade's 65-70% of the way to your TP. I would bring it up to this base, but I don't know. I don't trade oil, so I don't know how it moves. But from a technical aspect, I would use this base as my stop point or one of these upper wicks. Okay, you did after screenshot. Okay, nice. GC, LEM, 30-minute orb, 5-minute chart. Let the orb set. About the first 5-minute candle close back in the orb. 3-point stop, 6-point TP. Okay. I don't know what an LEM is. Okay, so I think this hit TP. Figure out. Second trade took a long after rejection from 318. Session VWAP, an area where price previously pushed from. Finally on a drawdown in some. 1-2. Okay, very nice. Very nice. This is clean. Clean. 2 clean trades. One was 15 minutes, one was 40 minutes. Yeah, same trade I took. A little later on the entry, but still good trade. On this stop, when it does this retest, right? If it bounces off this retest when this hard red candle prints, it shouldn't come back down there. So you can either adjust your stop to this wick or to this candle, and then just let it run. But clean trade, very clean trade. Area of resistance plus most buying all session, and we moved down, made a low volume net where we had failed buying at the time. We had an SMT with ES2, so I entered past eval. Okay. Very nice, Vetsy. Okay, so you shorted 10. Then, okay, you got stopped for break even on this, and then you shorted again and caught it for 60 points. So clean, very clean. All the buying, no continuation. Low volume node, you entered, and we had that large seller come in. Yeah, you have large sellers coming in. Failed buying. I like it. YM 15-minute orb for scratch today. 15-minute orb, broken wick only. Entry, orb 0.5, 80-point TP, 40-point SL. Move to entry on failure to move higher, scratch trade. Okay. I think this scratch trade makes sense. That's really my stop loss on 5 minute. I just didn't mark it up. Okay. No, you're good. You're good. 1,000 points, how much is that? What do you mean 1,000 points? 1,000 points on what, bro? Clean sells today using turtle soups on low time frame. Okay, clean. I would adjust this stop in. I'd bring the stop in. Also 15-second chart is crazy. I know Law does that. And then he grayed out how much he's up. But you're up 12 points. I can figure it out. It's $720 for your stop. You're in 3. If you wanted to really gray this out, you would have to gray out this, this, and this. So you're up $720 on this. I would just adjust these stops in because this is a little crazy. What would have been the ideal trades today? I already went through them at the start, so you can rewatch the live once it posts. Too long MNQ win, 7 micros. First 382 was waiting for 0.5, 0.618. So I was watching since the low volume node was there, but I saw retrace and react, so got in for a win towards high, partial at highs, wicks, and trailed stop to 15. No 1 hour IB levels hit, so expected some. Plus 500, 1.62 R. Second 0.5 low volume node. This is where I wanted to enter originally. I got in off the low and went to VWAP. Scaled 3 out of 7 at New York VWAP. When I saw reaction, but just kept going. Seemed reasonable at the time.
But win would have been big if I held. Tried 5 minute all the way up to highs. Still expected 1 hour levels to get hit, but got stopped trailing. 600. Okay. New combine up 1100. Felt I was patient. Yeah. Okay. So clean entry on this second one. Very clean entry on the second one. Same area where I got into. This trail is a bit tight. It's a bit tight, in my opinion. Okay, now that's stair stepping. Yeah, it's fine to trail it like that. Yeah, just a little tight on the trails, but good trades. Did we get in on this? Oh, you get in on the retest. Okay. Yeah, clean entry on that retest. I like where the stop's at. And then, yeah. I wouldn't have adjusted the stop till it pushes past that slight rejection. Okay, clean scales. I would have adjusted the stop up. Especially when I see that wick on the 15. I would have adjusted it higher when it's struggling up here. Because if it wants to push those upper end extensions, it would have already pushed them. So this first position, I think you're probably getting out a little too late, in my opinion. Because it's not giving you aggressive. Yeah, you should have been out of this, Dylan. The second trade's really clean. I think this. So the second trade, I think you brought the stops up a little too quick. The first trade, I think you brought them up a little too slow. Yeah. But 2 nice trades, up 1100. So how am I doing? I'm feeling a lot better than I was last week. I was crashing out last week. Previous day range stat neutral. Market opened above true day. Price swept it at 947. Bullish. Market seems to be respecting previous resistance turn support. First attempt, price swept true day open into low volume node. Overlapping second attempt 382. New York VWAP. First attempt I saw failed selling. First sweeping true day open. Price ended up invalidating at 3 minutes, so I figured we shouldn't sweep London lows. Second attempt failed selling plus CVD divergence below New York VWAP. First trade trailed to 15-minute wick once we hit 0.2 extension. Adjusted break even once we struggled past 0.2. Adjusted full TP 2.3. Could have added to my position when I saw potential absorption inside IFEG. Could have taken better entry on first attempt. Could have taken partials on both attempts. Overall good trading day and good ideas. Simply need to improve how comfortable I am with taking partials and trailing aggressively. Yeah, I would have probably brought the stop up there. Like, I would have brought the stop up because you have a 50-point stop on this. Yeah, okay, there you go. You putting emojis on the chart. What is going on here, bro? Why are we putting emojis on the chart? Why do we keep putting them on and taking them off? Yeah, I would have adjusted this. I would have scaled something or adjusted quicker because you're 7 points. You're 7 points off your TP. Yeah, you should have been stopped out on this. I would have brought it to that wick, this wick here. And then when it pushes up and fails, I would probably get out of that. Okay, and then second attempt. Okay, we doubled our size. Okay, stop should be adjusted at this point. Yep, clean. Stop should be adjusted again. I would put it at the base of this 5. Not here. I would put it way higher. Your stop's too wide. You're up 50 points.
Our stop is at break even. I would bring it to this base, or even this. If you want to give it some room, bring it up here. But you can either bring it to this wick or you can bring it down here, depending on if you want room or not. And then, if anything, it should be brought to that wick. So this is just, you just need to be adjusting the stops. I like both of the trades, but the stop adjustment is poor management, in my opinion. Same stop loss and dollar amount, yeah, I get that. Cut a 1 to 2 RR on gold. Over bias with rejection from 0.5 and trend line breakout and retest. Entered off retest, then added to position, closing above VMA and hold. One mistake was closing trade right before TP and trying to re-enter. Okay, so long here. Closed it, long again, closed again. I mean, both these are clean. Who had the best trade though? I think Jaren did. If I give it to Jaren, I also have to give it to someone else. Is the thing. I'll give it to Jaren, but I'm also gonna put someone else in here. I like Zeke's and I like Alize's. I think I might. I think this one because you're pulling yourself out of drawdown. Okay. The emojis are more important than the stuff. Is ICT worth learning? There's a lot of ran through FPGs in order blocks. Some people get out of it. Some people get out of it. I don't know anything about TPO charts. I have no idea. I know it's time, price, opportunity. I don't know anything about them. But yeah, that's Trader you guys. Let's see what the market's doing. End of day. Are we dumping? No, we're still pumping. Jesus Christ. We had this down here. I bottom ticked that shit. And it pumped. What the fuck is going on, bro? Your Discord notifications are triggering my ICD. You should see my fucking email inbox, bro. Alright. I'll see you guys later. That's Trader you.